Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Scents. And I've been wanting to make this video for absolutely ages, but it was possibly too early, and then I couldn't get round to it, and so many things came up. Anyhow, before it becomes too late, I really want to get this out to you because it's an interesting topic for me. I've come to realize, being a fragrance head and fragrance lover, that there are particular seasons and styles and DNAs and scents that I gravitate towards and prefer. And I find myself, as sad as it may be to describe it like this, more excited and looking forward to the colder, chillier seasons, the autumnal, the winter seasons, because I'm looking forward to wearing some fragrances that I haven't been able to wear for some time because of the warmer climates that we've summer and springtime that we've currently had. Now, I think as I've gotten more mature and a little bit more older, my tastes have differed. Where I was younger, I was more into the, as you'd say, vibrant, shower jelly and typical mainstream designer fragrances that are more summer and springtime based. And then, well, definitely summer based. But now as I've got, more and more mature, I feel like I'm gravitating more towards having a pleasing, pleasurable experience and liking and definitely having a wider collection of the cooler fragrances for the cooler seasons. So your typical leathers, ouds, ambers, patchoulis, sweeter, honeyer fruits, and so on, and the elixirs. Anyhow, I'll get through them. I'll do my best to explain why they're on this list. There's many I've missed out. I should have narrowed this down even more, hence why you can't see some of them on screen. I'll do my best to get them on. I'll try do them in order of how we'll get from warm season into autumn, where it's still a little bit warm, but starting to get a little bit cooler, but not too cold. It's still nice. So the fresher ones. And then as we transition from autumn into winter, then we get straight into the colder climates. I'll do those later towards the end. Some of these you've heard of, some of these you may not have, some of them you know. Some of them don't get talked about enough. So I'll go over why I've got them, and I'll focus more on some than others, possibly the ones you may not have heard of, just to give a reasoning why and what I get from them. So as we transition into summer to autumn in the coming, well, as the end of August approaches, September starts to settle in. What you'd want is still something that's relatively fresh, but and bright off the top, but has that little bit of comforting, cool, leathery oudiness. And for that reason, this one I've had for some times. In fact, even on some of the warmer days and evenings, it's a brilliant evening scent in the warmer days, and in the autumn and winter, this would stand out. It's from the Zara range, and they have this bottle in a various different style. I believe slightly different style to what you have here, because they do change the bottles now and again. But anyway, I came across this in store in the wide selection. It's called Oud Vibrant Leather Elixir. So I hope that's focusing there. But Oud Vibrant Leather Elixir, you can see I've got through a fair bit already, but not enough, but I do really enjoy this scent. Now, the way that they describe it on their boxes, they only ever list three notes. Doesn't mean there's only three notes in there. I can't remember what the box listed. Obviously, it would have been oud, leather, and something else, or bergamot or something. But if I wouldn't like to rely on Fragrantica because there's all sorts of notes listed on there, which I don't agree with. But to basically explain this, it's a very fresh, energetic, leathery scent with a hint of, I'd say, Western oud. So the likable oud, not the animalic type. Not much oud in there at all. It's more leather, but it is one of the stronger ones, and it's beautiful. It can be used, like I said, even on the brighter evenings. It's really nice, pleasant smell. Now, Fragrantica says it has apple, bergamot, and kumquat off the top. Not sure. Definitely has some apple and bergamot there. It's got some brightness at the top, which really, really makes it enjoyable. Mid notes, frankincense, geranium, and violet. Oak, oud, and patchouli being the base notes. So it is really pleasing. I'm going to give it a spray to remind myself if I can pick any more. Yeah, it's just bright off the opening. It's really pleasing, this. Everyone would possibly get on well with this, and I keep this. They're so inexpensive, the Zara fragrances. I keep this as a go anywhere, spray anytime fragrance. essentially, not in the hottest of hottest climates, but it is a very, if there's anything, a very fresh, leathery fragrance that is just so pleasant. It's got a lot of citrus off the top, and I think that's what gives it its brightness. So that's definitely one I'm looking forward to wearing more of. And I have been wearing it in some of the summer evenings as well. Okay, so as we transition, as we keep going, so which ones would be similar to that? A lot of these are heavier. So I have here Ansam Silver. And the reason why I bring this up is this is heavily slept on. Only a few people have possibly brought this up. And this is so hard to explain what it does and where it fits. Ansam Silver, essentially, I'd say, is a concoction of fragrances. It doesn't clone any one in particular, but it does a good job of getting close to this bad boy that everyone seems to like. Okay, the Azaro range of fragrances, but it also mixes it in with a bit of Stronger With You. So you get a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of everything. You get a bit of a number of fragrances. And again, I'll bring up Fragrantica, but this was something that I purchased and I was so pleased with. It's and Sam Silver, it's part of their, I can't believe, but the simple breakdown profile that's on Fragrantica is cardamom and bergamot off the top. So again, you get a bit of citrusness off the top. Lavender Divana for middle notes, vanilla, amber, and patchouli. And you definitely do get that vanilla, amber, and patchouli at the dry down. But off the top, again, you get a nice bright citrusness off the top. And it's so well blended. This for a Lattafa, I didn't find it to be harsh at all. It's really well blended. It does really well once you let it macerate. It becomes even more. It's a very strong fragrance and it lasts and lingers around. When you spray this, particularly on clothes, it will stay there. But it doesn't blow you away. Again, it's a very soft, gentle, fresh take. But it combines your Azaros, your Stronger With Yous, and a couple of other fragrances as well. I mean, I'll just read the ones that it reminds others of, and I'll tell you which ones, maybe your cameras as well. So people have said it reminds them definitely of Azaros. The Lattafa Bourbon, it reminds them of them. So it's a mixture of 2 or 3 or 4, even 1 million, 1 million Royal as well. It reminds them of all of them, but it doesn't just follow any one of them. So it's a combination of fragrances enrolled into one. But I think this is slept on. Definitely worth a try. And I really will be going back to this. When I'm not sure what to wear in the winter, I usually just turn to this because it ticks many boxes. Right, okay. As we go into... Oh, we're still continuing. Let's continue. Okay, let's get to this one here. Everyone knows of the Spectre Ghost. And this is French Avenue's take on Nishani Annie. As far as I'm aware, it is a vanilla bomb. Now this has got a huge dent in it. I don't know if you can see that. Doesn't help, but yeah, it's almost half gone. I have sprayed this a lot. I've decanted it quite a bit as well. And this, when I smelled Annie, I absolutely loved it. Didn't want to spend so much on a perfume. And this was one of my first winter clones and dupes that I got, and I absolutely loved it. I feel it gets very close to the Annie profile. It's never going to be on point. Annie and Nishani themselves use really expensive ingredients to make the notes, make the formulations, and the transition that they have in there can't be, and they can't be rivaled. But the smell, the vanilla-ness you get off the top, oh, it's beautiful. That soft vanilla cake bakery vibe that you get off this is just so soft. Again, it lasts a long time. You get this on clothes, it will project, and maybe even skin. I talk about clothes because I tend to spray clothes more often. But even on skin, yeah, it's beautiful. It's so soft, it's so velvety, it's vanilla, done brilliantly, and it just replicates Annie perfectly. And this can be used throughout the autumn winter time. Really enjoy this, and I can't wait to get back to you. It's a very pleasurable fragrance, that is. I'll pick up Suits. As we know, it's well known as being one of the cheapest alternative for that DNA of Tuxedo, which is really expensive, a patchouli based fragrance. Everyone's heard of Suits. Yes, it's worth it because you can pick it up for 10 to 15 pounds really when online, and for that it's a no-brainer. It really is. It's really well rounded. ticks that box of tuxedo, very classical patchouli style fragrance, perfect for evening wear, formal wear. I wouldn't say it lasts the longest, but neither does tuxedo essentially, so you do need to top up, but it does do its job for the price, but you can't go wrong, and that's why this is in the list. Now, Antique Brown is another Zara fragrance that I picked up. I couldn't think of the notes again on the box. It only listed 3. Fragrantica lists many, many more. I'll see if I can bring it up again. But this is a really interesting fragrance from the Zara collection. I'm yet to use it much. It's more of a sweeter vanilla tobacco fragrance. So they've listed praline, vanilla, rum, coconut water, tobacco, honey, apple, amber, bergamot. Now this is where I talk a bit about honey. Honey mixed with leather, mixed with anything wintry, oud, leather, vanilla, amber is absolutely something I love for the winter. So if you get a chance, again, very inexpensive. And this, I got a smell of this in the winter when I purchased it. It was a cool day, very windy, cool day. My days, spray something like this, go out and you'll catch it in the wind and it will just amplify. For some reason, it amplified more when I was outside in the cool weather than it was when I was indoors, when it was obviously with the heating on and so on. But this, again, very beautiful, nice scent for inexpensive. Classic, more for your elderly, not elderly, I mean more mature audience and crowd, but definitely has those notes coming through, and I think that's nice. As the colder it gets, this will really, really shine. So what else do we have? Right, okay, we've got here, some of you may be thinking, what is this? So this is Paris Oud from Nassim. I've mentioned these guys before. These guys, hats off to them, are producing fragrances that are alcohol free. So they're water-based fragrances, and they do they have their own twist on them, but they do follow. And then this Paris Oud is their golden bottle, water-based, but it follows oh sorry, I'm going so much. It follows the I'll just bring it up here. Sorry for going silent on you guys, but yes, it's a really nice winter fragrance. It follows the amberness that we get, sorry, that's the note I was thinking of, that we get in Grand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Grand Soir is a well-liked fragrance, well-known fragrance. Well, MFK, some people think it might be their best fragrance. Now, if you like amber and you like Grand Soir, then this is a great take on it. Now, you might think, it's got no alcohol, it's not going to last. This lasts. I don't know how they do it, Nassim, but they do. This lasts. I wouldn't say spray too much of this in a closed area environment. It can become cloying, but if you like amber, if you like Grand Soir, then try this. Paris Oud from Nassim. I do like it, and it reminds me essentially of that time of year. Yeah, it's water-based, so I don't know if you can see this. Spray it there. It will go a bit white, so just give it a shake before you do it a bit of a distance, and as long as you give it a bit of a distance, it dissipates. And to be honest, it's water-based, doesn't give me any irritation on the skin at all, and it lasts, and it definitely projects. This did last a while, a fair while. It is strong and it's beautifully done. It is creamy amber is the best way I can describe that. Now, we go on to the cooler, colder months now, I believe. As we get there, we'll talk about the well-known Stronger With You. I've got the Intensely version. Now, I must say, I do like the Absolutely version, possibly a bit more than the Intensely. The Parfum's nice as well. I'll take either of them, any of them, in that sense. I'd say it's a good, not a great fragrance. And the reason I think is that it gets a lot of use, a lot of hype. Some people say it's the greatest of all time, but maybe it's the sweetness, the chestnutiness of this that makes me think that it can become a little bit too cloying. A little bit too sweet. I won't say cloying. A little bit too sweet. And I do like a sweet fragrance. So if I'm saying it's sweet, then I think it might be a bit too sweet. Anyhow, it is a good formulation. It's done great for them. I'd love to try the other flankers like the leather, the sandalwood version, the oud version, so on and so forth. But that's the one I have. We all know what that does. Cayenne Classic. So this is an iris heavy, well-known offering. I think it's Arabia Prestige. I can't remember. It's Cayenne Classic anyway. Many people know it. It's an iris heavy fragrance, and it really rivals and gives you an alternative option to Dior Homme Intense, I believe. Yeah, classic iris. Now, not many people. Some people like iris. Some people don't. They find it too feminine because it reminds them of lipstick. I can't remember, but it does have that powderiness to it. That real iris kick throughout from opening to end. It is a very classical, nice scent. And the reason why I do like this, I don't have many iris fragrances. I really do like this. Way better than Prada Luna Rosa Black. I don't get why that gets hype. Dear Home Intense is great, but it costs a hell of a lot. Very inexpensive. Cayenne Classic. Many of us do know of this. And that's a great scent for the evenings, for formal occasions, for the winter as well. Now I'll go here towards this end before I finish off with some of the others. We know Liquid Brun. Liquid Brun, everyone knows this. If you've not, I actually was quite late in the game. I've had it for some time, but I didn't get hold of it because I didn't think I'd need it with this large and many other in the collection. But Liquid Brun is really doing a great job in what it does. So what do you get? You get a pretty much a fantastic, bold fragrance that really lasts a long time, and essentially the Parfums de Marly, that version of this that we know of, that is a similar color. I'm just trying to get up the notes here. Sorry, should have this before. Here we go. Sweet, aromatic, warm, spicy vanilla with a bit of cinnamon in there. That's what I get off the top. Cinnamon, orange blossom, and you really get a lot of the orange blossom. It really carries it through. Cardamom, bergamot, and then the bourbon vanilla, elemi, praline, ambroxan, guaiac and musk. Everyone knows of this. If you've not heard of it, you've been living under a rock. But what they say essentially is if you like Altair by Parfums de Marly, if you like that kind of scent, go for this. It's a lot cheaper. Does very 90 to 95% the same, and it projects and lasts probably even longer. It's fantastic. They will smell you from the other side of the room with this, so be careful on the sprays. I went a bit trigger happy once in a meeting and everyone could smell me. Beautiful scent. It's not slept on. Everyone knows of that. Now, going similarly to Khamra Dukhan. Khamra Dukhan. Now, this is one of the newer Khamras. Some people say that it's not different enough for them to suggest it. Now, I have Khamra Kawa, the coffee version. I've had that for a long time. I recently got Dukhan only because I came to realize that I do appreciate the kahwa version, but I don't think I love it. I do like the coffee note in it. It's got a good twist. It's different. But Dukhan, I feel, out of them all, this is possibly my favourite one. Only because it's the more masculine version out of the three cameras. It's not as sweet as the original. It still is sweet, though. But it has a pepperiness to it, a spiciness to it. And that's what I really do appreciate. And I think that fieriness that it has, that pepperiness that it has, that lingers around from opening to mid, is really something that sets it apart. And I would therefore top that up. So again, rather than spending angel share money, you can get yourself something much more affordable. Now, we're going into something that I've recently purchased. Now, don't knock this, but Molton Brown do some EDPs. They do some EDTs and EDPs. Molton Brown are well known in the UK for providing shower gels and skin lotions and potions and all sorts. But they do have a range of perfumes and fragrances. And one of the ones that really stood out when I got a little 12 box of sample tester set, I was gifted that, was Rose Dunes. Rose Dunes. And this is a very good, nice, possibly feminine leading slightly, because as the name suggests, it's got rose in it. But it's like a woody rose leathery scent. And it's beautiful. So if you're comfortable with wearing something that may lean a little bit more feminine, I don't mind. I mean, Don't know whether my other half would like this scent because of the oudiness and leatheriness that comes, but it's got a hefty dose of rose in there that starts projecting from the outset and then does dial down eventually. But it is a long-lasting fragrance. It's very nice if you like those dark, rosy, jammy, oudi, and I mean Western oudi again, not an animalic ouds. I'll see what else this has in terms of here we go, notes. Yeah, warm, spicy, rosy. So, you know, they're saying from the outset saffron, green pepper, ginger, violet leaf, bergamot, and cassis. Oh, it's got a lot going for it. Rose, raspberry, geranium, magnolia, lily of the valley, and then patchouli, argowwood, leather, musk, vetiver, and sandalwood. And it is that. To simplify, I'd say it's a rose, oudi, sandalwood, patchouli scent. It's got that jammy rosiness. I guess where that raspberry comes in. It is slightly feminine leading, but you can pull it off. I like it. I appreciate it, and I will certainly be giving this more a use. It lasts a fair while. Again, be careful of the sprays. You'd be okay, I think, but you've got to be confident and comfortable with wearing something that slightly, ever so slightly, leans more feminine because of the rose in there. Right, we're getting more into the winters now. We know Boss Bottle Elixir, that's got to have to make it. There's two elixirs that I really swear by and don't need the large bottles, but I've got them. I don't know why, and I'll use them at the same time. You've got Sauvage Elixir, which was my first elixir, and I've thought I've used a lot, but I've barely made a dent. Again, you do not need the large bottles, guys. These are such loud projecting fragrances that last a long time. If you get the chance to purchase them, either try a small atomizer first. It will last you ages. You only need a couple of sprays, possibly 2 sprays of Sauvage, and I'm a heavy sprayer, okay? 2 of this. I've done more and I've regretted it. And so has the person sitting next to me. 2 of this as well. Boss Bottled Elixir, possibly 2 or 3. And they do go their separate ways. They're not the same at all, but they're really well known and they're worth it. And in the winter, they just go. They project, they amplify, they go really far. Again, be careful in a closed environment. They can be very strong and cloying, so bear that in mind. And I've left, I believe, 2 of my best till last. I'll leave my best till last, the one I'm more excited about. But the one before that, and I got this Art of Nature 1 for a particular reason. And I'll give a shout out to its alternative offering from Zemaya. I do like Zemaya. Itgan. Basically, I smell... what did I smell? Oud Maracuja. Oud Maracuja. Oh my gosh, I smelt that in store. Mason Cravelli, the blue bottle. Absolutely love the mix of passion fruit and oud, and I appreciate you can't get the same as that in terms of the note profile. However, I love the fact they included passion fruit and oud. Now, these two are very similar. They're not exact clones of it because oud maracuja is oud maracuja and it smells amazing to my nose. Some people find it too much, too cloying. But if you get the right setting, the right environment, the right weather, and you wear it in the right occasion, beautiful, beautiful passion fruit, fruitiness off the top, and then oudiness that comes through. So I feel the difference between the two, Art of Nature, is a little bit harsh for the first minute or two, like some Latafas are. Give it a sec. The Pride line. It lasts longer than Zemaya, but Zemaya opens with more of the fruitiness off the top, but it quickly transitions into that oudiness. Art of Nature, a couple of minutes of harshness, then that fruitiness and that passion fruit comes through, and that lasts a bit longer, then it eventually goes into the oudiness, and it lasts longer. So therefore, I've given it to that. Either or, to be honest, if you have one or the other, you don't need both. I sprayed myself a while ago. Yeah, certainly. Art of Nature lasts and projects longer and further. And therefore I've got that in there because I love that mix of sweet, jammy fruitiness mixed in with oud. And that really is something that sits well in the winter time. And last but not least, I hope I've not missed one out. Oh, I may well have. No, they're just alternatives that I will give shout outs to at the end. This is one that I absolutely love. Shagaf Oud Azrak, the dark royal blue bottle. Now, Smelly Cat put me onto this some time ago, and I had it. And this is a tale of don't trust your nose right away. Or if you order something, as in blind buy it, which I always say don't blind buy stuff, give it a chance to settle. For those of you who don't think maceration is a thing, this is the perfect example of it is a thing. I absolutely hated this when it arrived. Smelly Cat gave it the big one, and I purchased it. Now, top notes: honey, argarwood off the top, cinnamon, bourbon, vanilla, amber, middle, patchouli, leather in the base. When I got it, all I got from it was a real inkiness of oud smell, real dark ink. If you had a fountain pen and it leaked, if you ever had those cartridges when you were a kid or at school and you had a posh pen and it leaked and they burst open, that smell of ink was all I got. The only thing I got from this. I put it to one side, was disgusted by it, didn't use it for a couple of months. I went back to it and I'm so glad I did. I don't know what happened in that time, but it's like some little creature crawled into there and poured some honey in there, a couple of other things, and wow, that mixture of honey, that sweetness that you get from the honey makes this an amazing scent. Now it's been sitting there for a while, so it's probably transitioned a little bit more, but I absolutely adored this in the coldest of coldest months. The oud blended with the honey, the sweetness you get and the balance of sharpness and sweetness that you get from this Shagaf Oud Azraq, got to say that right, from Swiss Arabian, is so decadent, so beautiful. Again, for the price point, absolutely fantastic. I don't think it's duping anything in particular, maybe a mixture of them, but they put their own twist on them. I know they have a range of them. You see, it's gone a little bit inky again. It's probably because I've not sprayed it. It's just been sitting there. I need to spray it, get it going again. But boy, that when you do, that honey comes out, that sweetness comes out, and it's just so, so appeasing to my nose. And it's something I keep going back to and back towards. Again, be careful of the sprays. It can project, it can be loud, it can be cloying if you spray too heavy. But this is an absolute banger of a scent. So I'll give you a shout out to some others. You're probably shouting at the screen, why not this, why not that? Jazz Club, yes, I do have a full bottle. I've not opened it yet because I want to get through this first. I do appreciate Jazz Club. It's nice. It's got that smoky Jazz Club-esque vibe to it. So smokiness, tobacconess to it. And I do like that for the winter. Spice Sprung, Victor. This got a hell of a lot of hype for what it is. I think it's okay. It's a bit of a mess for me. It's a mess of lots of notes. What spice bomb it really means. It is a bomb, bomb of spices essentially. I've got various versions of this: the EDT, this one, the extreme version. I do prefer the extreme version. It's okay. Yeah, it's all right. And then Ozaro. I can't remember which one this is. You guys will know. Many of you love the Ozaro, swear by it. It's, again, gets loads of hype. I think it's okay. Meh, does a good job. But some of these have this DNA within them. This one especially, Ansam Silver, and I feel possibly do a slightly better job of it. Yeah, I'd rather have Ansam Silver over that. But I appreciate it. If this is what you have, this is what you have. Use it. It's nice. Does a job. Anyway, they're shout outs. So what I'd say is definitely try. Everyone knows of Liquid Bruin. So that's known. This is known. This is unknown. This is a sleeper. Try it. Sleeper. Not many people talk about this. Definitely try it. Yeah, sleeper. Why not? Not many people talked about Art of Arabia 1. There were so many other Pride options. Everyone knows about Cayenne Classic, but worth trying. Everyone knows about Sauvage. And sleeper. Antique Brown from Zara. Everyone knows about Suits. Everyone knows about Boss Bottle Elixir. Oud. Vibrant Leather Elixir from Zara. Absolute sleeper. Paris Oud. Absolute sleeper. Molten Brown, Rose Dunes, sleeper. Kamra Dukhan, lots of people know about it, probably don't appreciate it as much. Stronger With You and Tetsu, everyone knows about that. Ghost, a Spectre Ghost, medium, possibly sleeper. It's been around for such a while now, people might have forgotten about how great it is. So definitely worth a try. So guys, that is my world record and going through all of those scents. I hope you appreciate it. Let me know which ones you have, which ones you like. What have I got wrong? Which ones do you think I've got wrong? But these are 2 thumbs up, definitely worth a try and the buy. If you don't have them, definitely get a tester and a decant from the link below. Like and subscribe. I do my best to keep this as honest and open and as not as focused on hype, but most on the real truth of how I feel and my experiences with the collections I have, to save you from purchasing, making wrong decisions, giving you the advice of what I feel you should try and in the coming colder months. So let me know what you have, what I've missed, what I should add, what I could possibly sample and try, and also which one of these really do it for you. Thanks guys, take care.